Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube painting process video. This time I'll be showing you the time lapse for my Prism fan art from Dispatch. And as usual, I'll be going over and discussing a topic of today's video. Given that Prism likes to use illusions to trick her enemies, I figured this is fairly appropriate for this topic. And it's my secret, my top secret in tricking yourself to drawing more. Occasionally, I'll get comments about how I draw fairly fast or I'm just drawing so much, and people wonder how I keep going despite being around 15 years into my professional life. Now, it would be lazy of me to just say that it pays the bills, that it's financially important for me, which it is, but there's still a lot to sort of mentally preparing yourself to drawing this much in your work. Because I get it, it can be very hard to keep your creative juices going, especially when you are creating that much artwork. So I'll give you what works for me, and perhaps you can try it for yourself in order to, in a way, trick yourself to just drawing more and more. And my secret is to have a lot of different paintings being done at the same time and keep them incomplete for the next day. There's a very specific reason why I do this, and it's because I'm tricking my brain to want to complete these tasks that I've left incomplete. It's a lot easier for me to wake up the next day and try to finish what I already started than to start something completely new in the first place. Our brains like to want to complete things in our heads. If you have any sort of passion or work ethic, you're probably going to want to finish any artwork that you begin. Now, a toxic version of this is, of course, the sunk cost fallacy. And certainly you have to be mindful of just not completing every single thing that you start, because perhaps there's certain drawings and paintings which you figure it's just not going anywhere and you need to stop it before you waste too much time. But as you get more experience, you're probably going to start being able to pick out what isn't worth completing, and it'll make you more time efficient. So that becomes less of a problem as you get more professional. But generally speaking, if you are aware of the sunk cost fallacy and you're careful about it, then the idea of leaving incomplete work is going to really help you to boost your productivity. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I finish all my tasks and there's nothing left for me to do, I start thinking of ways to procrastinate. Because again, it's very difficult at times to really start your engine again when you stop it. It's sort of like stopping and parking your car in winter weather. It may have been able to run properly if you just kept the engine running, but once you shut it off, it's very hard to start the engine again in cold weather. In my own experience, it's the same idea. When you start doing one painting, you're going to have ideas for other paintings, and you're going to want to keep all these ideas going and all these juices flowing, and your engine keeps running. Whereas when everything's done, you stop thinking about these creative ideas, then finding a starting point from a blank canvas is so much harder. So when you have incomplete processes for the next day, you will have at least a starting point, a boosting point to begin your day with, where you're just finishing up what you had the days prior, And as your engine is running, you can start thinking about new ideas, and then you will start processes for future artwork. And day in and day out, as you are completing more artwork, you are starting more artwork at the same time for the next day for you to complete. One thing that my mentors have taught me before is that the hardest thing for artists to conceive is a blank canvas. Because when you have a blank canvas in front of you, there are just so many infinity options on what to do next. Whereas if you have something of a starting point, something that you can work off of, it's so much easier to grasp than something with infinite options moving forward. And I've cherished that advice. I try my best to never really start with a blank canvas. Now, the video processes are only showing my recordings for one monitor, but if you've ever seen my workspace, I have 3 monitors with artwork of my own stuff as well as other people's stuff for reference, always in front of my face. This is again another way for me to ensure that I'm not just staring at a blank canvas at any time. I'm constantly bombarded with ideas and inspirations so that my brain, my engine is never shutting down. I think that's simple enough to grasp, and hopefully you can take that for your own work as well. Trust me, my productivity really accelerated when I first learned about this in college. Now, I will tell you that there is one big issue with this, and not everybody will be ready for it. And it's the fact that when your engine keeps running, then eventually you're gonna run out of gas. In art terms, it might become very exhausting for you to keep this sort of engine going in your mind all the time. It's going to drive some people nuts, and surely it also has given me some very frustrating days where I just feel like there's so much to do, and every day I just have to find new reasons to keep drawing, and there's no real time to have breaks. Now, for myself, I've conditioned myself to get used to that sort of workload, but if you're not used to it, it can be very overwhelming. And I'm surely not trying to encourage you to just work to the death of the earth here. You do want to take breaks, and you want to give your mind a reset button every so often when you need it. Don't burn yourself out if you are feeling it. Give yourself a chance, and you're gonna deserve some breaks here and there. But at the same time, what I told you throughout this video is also a good way to stop long stretches of artist block or just procrastinating a lot. Using this method, I am generally always on the edge and really wanting to continue some of my paintings, as it's a lot easier to continue something than, of course, to start over a new canvas. So this is sort of my trick to keep my engines running, even on harder days to where you feel like you want to just lazy out. Ultimately, everybody watching this will probably have their own idea of what their limits are, and you want to really test it for yourself and see what is comfortable for you while staying productive. Don't be too lazy, but also don't go too insane and too work heavy where you burn yourself out. Ultimately, this is art, so you do need to have some semblance of creative juices, and burning yourself out is also a bad way of going about creativity. So bear that in mind. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is the final piece of Prism from Dispatch. As usual, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.